Hello everyone and welcome back to the Minecraft 1.20 Let's Play. Over the last few episodes I've been trying desperately to reduce the population in the pit of villagers that we've got up here. I built a bakery and a library over there. I built a boat in our cove, which I actually could put more villagers in, and I definitely need to do that soon, but I spent some time filling our old librarian room with some more villagers. I thought this space could actually work well as a cleric station since it is right behind the tavern area. It can be sort of a back room, and I'm going to set up a little cleric potion bench in the middle. Here we can have some different bottles going through some kind of system, chemistry, I don't know. I'll use some candles as bottles, and maybe some magical plants here that might have some chemical properties. In my head, all the clerics are looking at me like, you idiot, what the heck am I supposed to do with that? I made you a table, okay, you're welcome. Anyways, I got a little sidetracked on the cleric stuff, but I want to do one last thing that will improve the outside of the hotel. Adding a potion sign that will actually signify what this building is for, since it looked a little bit basic before. Using some quartz and birch as the glass of the bottle, I used prismarine for the potion itself because I think it looks bubbly and it changes colors, so I thought that would be a good potion-y block to use. The sign is looking good, now we know what exactly is in the building. But distractions aside, my point with the clerics is that I need more villagers. Despite what a pain they are, I want to add a little civilization to this section of the swamp behind our library here. The first thing in this project is that I also wanted to use this hill back here, so I need to connect it to this area with a bridge so that I don't have to disrupt the porch of the library. I'm planning on using the same style of my other bridge and using a lot of stone, so let's go mining. I'm always using my silk touch pickaxe, so I definitely needed to mine for some regular plain cobblestone. Of course it started raining, but we continue. The gap between these two ends of land is pretty big, so I'm going to start this with a very gradual slope to make this look as natural as possible, stretching all the way along here. Using the deep slate on the bottom and cobble on the top, I created a very long bridge here, mainly going down. It's more of a ramp, honestly. But I've run out of spruce slabs, so I need to take a break and collect some more spruce. It's a new day and the rain has finally cleared, making the swamp look a little less gloomy. Continuing on the bridge, I added slabs as well as some lights using spruce fences to hang lanterns from. On the top here, I'm putting some stone brick slabs down as a trim. Like there's some spaces that are actually reinforced, so you can actually feel very safe crossing this totally legit bridge. For the space underneath, I'll decorate with some dripstone and hanging roots. I'll add some plant life around by dotting these warped roots around. Some leaves on the bridge will make it seem more overgrown and swampy, and extra sugarcane along the water here. So we've got a bridge here now, but there's no road on either side to connect it to anything. I'll start by clearing out some land. And now we can create some path blocks, creating, well, a path all the way to the bridge. The main path is down, and I'm going to map out a few smaller paths breaking off from this one. I'm going to add coarse dirt here once there's buildings, but for now we've got the skeleton of a town, so let's begin actually building. I want a smaller house here by the mini lake to start. I'm using a lot of spruce pillars for these builds in general, so I started by gathering lots of that to use, and I definitely won't need to get more at all. Just kidding, I probably will, there's like so much spruce. Aside from that, I needed some oak and acacia, slabs and trapdoors. I needed some miscellaneous stones, mostly mossy bricks, and deep slate. I also had to do some trading to buy a bunch of green terracotta. Like I said, I'm using a lot of pillars, so I started by raising the whole build up. I'm placing spruce beams in all the corners and connecting them. Because this tree is here exactly in the spot that I need a pillar, I'm going to leave it and see if the house can be kind of like a makeshift tree house. On top of the spruce beams, I used deep slate tiles as a base with spruce walls for one room and an oak walled room in front of that. I put a balcony off the front entrance so that you can actually walk across to the mainland. This build is heavy on the spruce, so the roof on the front room is the copper and acacia style I've used before. The other is a green roof with terracotta and mossy cobble. There isn't a lot going on in this house, and the interior, well, that's enough of that. Anyway, the next build is over here by the bridge, at the waterside, but still kind of close to the little hut. This is where I want to keep our Fletcher villagers, and I want it to be big enough for that, so let's start collecting the materials. I want a lot of birch to match the fletching table, so I gathered a good amount of logs to supply many planks and stairs. Another wood type that fits the fletching table is mangrove, so I painstakingly got some of that, chopping down many trees to get what I needed. I also need lots of bamboo, but luckily that is a automatic collection wood type, so I've got plenty stored in this barrel. I needed some string for scaffolding, so I spent some time at my spider farm. Back on the surface, I refilled all my stone bricks and mossy cobblestone. So here, we're doing the same spruce beams, lifting these out of the water, connecting them across. However, for the structure, I'm building a staircase from the ground level underneath that takes us to the main deck area. My idea for this is an archery base of some sort, using stone bricks to start behind the front deck. It has a small room where I'll keep the villagers themselves, made of birch walls and a mangrove roof to keep it on theme. Next to that, I added a tower with more birch and some oak to outline some big windows where they might shoot arrows out of to some target dummies I'll put in the swamp. The roof is bamboo and birch to have a gradient while keeping the birch color. I'll finish detailing this with some trapdoors on the tops of these. And since we've built two things and have been building for a while, let's set up a track to start moving villagers and decorate the interior. And there he goes. 1 villager, 2 villager, 3 villager, 4 villager, and 5 villager. All of the potential Fletchers are now in place, and to make some simple stalls for them, I'll craft more stone bricks, and use some walls to separate and contain these guys. I'm also using some birch stairs to open the space up in order to access the top of the tower. I think that you make fletching tables with flint. Yeah, okay. A little awkward in this corner, but their first trade is sticks, so I'll put my bamboo to use. Heading up to my farm here, and I've got many stacks of the stuff. I'll keep trading with these guys, but I'm going to get started on the interior, beginning with some tables and shelving. Some storage here with a few chests, and now the interior of the archery station is complete. They've got plenty of stalls, and it's nice and cozy with some plants. In the tower I put some bookshelves, and there's a nice little balcony to look out over. Next, shearing some pumpkins, and crafting target blocks with hay and redstone. I'll use some fences, and make these target dummies. No offense. I've got some materials left over, so I think I'll put one out here. And maybe I should have some target blocks inside. Beautiful. Now, let's see, I just want to test this. Before I do and fail, I just want to say that I never use a bow. Yeah, sure, that's the reason. Yeah, that went about as expected. Moving on. Out here, I should finally destroy this rail that's ruining the view. That's done, and we can see the build completely unobstructed. There's still a lot of space here, but I'm only going to do one more land build today, and I say land build because I'm moving over to the water, and I'm planning on having a boat in the swamp as kind of a river boat. But first I want to have a place for armorers, so I'm going to need a variety of stones, some dripstone, bricks, granite, copper, and packed mud. Starting right next to the water, I'm using blocks like mud and dripstone on the ground level because they just generally look dirtier. Above that, some more packed mud and spruce. Giant fence window I think works well for this since there is going to be a lot of blast furnaces in here and the heat needs to escape. The roof is very slanted because the vibe of this is a smaller, quaint shop along the swamp edge. I included 2 small overhangs on each side. One is just for outside storage, but the one on the water is for a little boat to park if needed. And here it is. The armory is looking good. One thing I want to do though is take a bottle and turn all of the dirt underneath into mud to match. And maybe a little bit underwater. There we go. Like I said, I want armorer villagers in here, which of course means that we need to move villagers again. Yay. This time, I'm going to attempt to lure them with a job block instead of making a railway, mostly because I forgot I would need the railway again, and I took it down. I can lock this guy in with some coal. Come on, sir, right this way. And just go into this hall, please. Not the one I wanted. It just had to be difficult, but it works. And number 2. I don't have much use for armorers, really, so 2 of them should do. I'm going to change out the floor with tuff. And I'll need to level these guys up, but for decor in here, I want to have some armor everywhere. I've got some coal ores I've silk touched in the past in this chest that I can trade. Not as impressive as a diamond tower, but I can trade all of this away except for a few that I kept for detail blocks. Whoa, holy crap, my guy. Those are really good diamond pieces. I really need to remember that for the early game in the future, but we can make use of the berry farm to get a good amount of emeralds to continue this. Now we should have enough to buy some armor, and I'm going to keep working with this other dude by buying some bells. I forgot that I've got random armor from end raiding a while ago, so we can use that as well. I'll smelt some stone, make some armor stands, and set up some shelves. We can put the stands on here. And diamond armor is great on its own, but I want to make it better by adding some armor trims to it. Next episode I do want to upgrade my own armor, but for now I've got diamonds that I don't use for anything that can duplicate the trims that we have, along with the blocks based on the trim that I need to get real quick. I've got a variety. 2 need fancy blocks from the end, and then the coast one, it literally just needs cobblestone. And using a smithing table, I'll use some different colors to add designs to some sets of armor. Decorating with some amethyst and diamond colored candles, and I think that's it for the interior. I'm really happy with the armor. I think that the chest pieces look very cool. For the outside, I'll add some more little lights and some barrels, bee boxes as crates, and some moss carpets, just to make this area look a little less abandoned and more lifelike, and also kind of crowded. Now that's done, I think I need to work on the dock. This is a simple design I'm going for, like really a rundown type of thing, so using slabs and trapdoors extending out over the water. That's our swampy dock area. I added some lights because I love the trees and it's a bit dark. The next thing, because all docks need boats, I'm building a smaller-ish riverboat off the shore a little ways. This is your classic riverboat design. I kept it simple with a flatter shape made out of spruce with some green terracotta because I think that color is a very swampy green. I'm also using some oak for an overhang with acacia accents for a little pop of color in all of the bland colors of this thing. And with a few minimalist decorations, the riverboat is finished. There's just a few tables on here. Again, very simple, but it works. It fits in very well in the swamp, I think. Just cruising into the little swamp town. The last thing to do today is add some general nature to this place. I'm going to start by farming some mushrooms. We can easily grow the giant ones on podzol and chop them down for the regular sized ones. And dotting them around in the shade and on podzol in spots that are too bright. Some more sugarcane along the water, which is most places since it's a swamp. And finally, some bone meal for some grass and some flowers. With that is all of the time though that I've got for today's video. We've got a decent start on a swampy village. We've built a fletching station and an armory, as well as improved the villager hotel. But that is all for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.